Hello, 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 chicas. It is time for a chit chat podcast, and y'all see the light. Y'all see it. Y'all already know when that light on, it is time to chat. How you guys doing? Good evening, chit chat podcast. Y'all already know it's time. It's time. And you already know what Sunday this is. It's our Pink Out Sunday where we are celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Sunday today. So I hope you guys are with me today on our Pink Out Sunday, and we have two special guests today. So we are celebrating two breast cancer survivors today who are joining us today, sharing with their breast cancer survivor journey. And so we're excited for them to share on their testimony on today. So without further ado, we're going to have them join with us today and sharing with that. So when you're checking in, chat with us and let us know where you're checking in from. So are they coming in? Are you bringing them in, Jada? Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves to you, but and let them give you guys a quick bio. But we have joining us today two breast cancer survivors, guys. We have none other than Ms. Nakia Holloway and Ms. Latoya Robertson. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today. I want to say big ups to you guys. I know this is something that you guys, you know, it probably was a tough journey. And I know that sharing this story is probably something that you guys, it probably was tough. And I want to say I appreciate you guys taking this opportunity to use this platform where we chat all things women here at Chit Chat Podcast, using this platform because it's important and because this month, October, is the month of breast cancer awareness. It's highly important for women to know the importance of breast cancer awareness, to know the importance of us women staying engaged in our health and making sure that we're taking care of our bodies and being aware of the consequences of keeping ourselves, being aware of having our mammograms and exams checked yearly, and if there's family history, knowing those awareness as well. So without further ado, Ms. Nakia Holloway, if you would go ahead and give us a quick bio or of who you are, and then after her, we'll let Ms. Latoya Robinson give us a quick bio of who she is as well.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, Ms. Shan, for allowing me to be on the podcast today. I greatly appreciate that. And you sharing awareness to the community as well as to worldwide, because this will be worldwide shared to anybody to know. But my name is Nakia Holloway. I live in Byron, Georgia. A quick bio for me: I am a Christian. I am 37-year-old woman. I'm a wife, a mother of two, a bonus mom to one. Married to my husband now going on 5 years. I also am a small entrepreneur for my makeup, as far as makeup artist for Bella by Renee. And I can add to my list now, I'm a 2-year breast cancer survivor. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Ms. Latoya, if you would go ahead and follow up with your bio.
Hi, my name is Latoya Robertson. Thanks to my sister Big Shan for inviting me to this podcast. I'm a mother of four. I'm originally from Macon, Georgia, but I reside in Warner Robins, Georgia right now. I'm currently in a leasing office in Fort Valley. I have 4 kids, 2 in college and 2 at home. I was diagnosed with December 9th last year. This is my first time having a scare like this.
Wow. Okay. Okay, I apologize about that, ladies. So we'll start with you, Latoya. Since you was recently diagnosed, we're going to start with you. What was, your journey like since, your point of discovery? I know that you are a mother of 4. So, and I know that you're a single mom. So take us to the point of discovery for you. What was that like for Latoya?
Initially it started out in September. Me and the kids were playing kickball in the backyard, and so the ball hit me like right here in my chest. I was like, it'll go away. November, it was still there. So my best friend was like, girl, you need to go get checked. Went to my doctor office. She was like, something's not right. So went to my doctor, my OBGYN, by the way, and she was like, I got to see you for a mammogram ASAP. Did my mammogram in November, the last part of November. Got scheduled for a biopsy December 7th. December 9th, I found out I had breast cancer. Stage 3, triple positive, inductor syndrome. So it was like scary for me because I was like, my initial like, who's gonna take care of my kids? Anything happen to me? That was my first instinct. But through all of the deal, I was like worried the whole time I was going through the situation.
Oh, wow. Wow. So let's go to you, Nakia. I know that you're a mother as well. Different scenario for you because I know that you're married, you're a wife, but you're a mother. So what was the point of discovery for you when you found out that you had breast cancer?
The point of discovery for me was I just felt something. I was 34 years old. I felt something. I thought, hey, the cyst like that most ladies would get when their cycle comes on. During that time, your hormonal phase and your breast tissue, didn't think nothing of it. My son hadn't turned 2 yet, so I had breastfed him for like 7 months. So that was not even in my mind, my thought process. So fast forward back 6 months prior to that, I was feeling I had like some pelvic pain. So my gynecologist at the time was monitoring me for that. Okay, so I got my tubes tied for my son. So I was thinking, nothing out of normal from that. But I was an active person, so I'm active. I like to work out. I mean, being social with my peers just as well as being out with my husband because we were just newlyweds. So just being out active, and I went to my gynecologist appointment because it was around that time. My birthday was March 26th when I found out in 2021. So my birthday is March 26th, 2021. Enjoy myself, going to my appointment. My doctor, she was like, that wasn't there from monitoring you 7 months ago because we was checking for my issue going on in for my pelvis, for my ovaries. She knew it was something, but she just wanted to monitor it. So she did my ultrasound for my pelvis area. And then she automatically said, hey, that wasn't there for my chest and my left breast. I'm going to send you for a mammogram. Now, being 35 years old at the time, I'm not screened to have a mammogram. So me, I didn't think nothing of it. Carefree as I normally am. Okay, go. She ended up telling me what she was thinking the possibility for my ovaries were. So she kind of made me feel a little bit like, okay, at ease. So I wasn't really worried about that. Go get that mammogram done. I want to say, can't remember the timeline, probably like the first week of April. Go get my mammogram done. Then they thinking of it. Then me and my husband, anniversary comes up. We enjoy that. I get a phone call that they saw something. I quickly go to a breast specialist to do a biopsy because they still was thinking it was nothing, for as my type, my age, everything. So I do the biopsy. I'm just going through the course. And I remember my son turned 2 April the 26th of 2021. I got a call April the 29th of 2021. that I was diagnosed with triple negative inductive carcinoma. So it was 2 spots found in my milk ducts on my left breast.
Wow.
And I just dropped to my knees and I called his name, Jesus. Because it was,
Wow.
I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting that call. And I honestly say it was a long road, but that was the point of discovery for me.
Yeah. I can imagine nothing can prepare you for it. And especially with both of you guys being under the age of expectation of what they normally tell you now, like this is the age of observation. You know, normally, 40 plus or, the 50 age, where women are, in that observation period of let's, monitor you for, the age where we need to look at you being older.
Mm-hmm.
Because both of you guys have observation, do you feel like that age should be dropped or changed now because younger women are being diagnosed?
Latoya, I'll let you go first if you want to answer first.
Yes, I had a friend of the family. Her daughter was 25 when she had breast cancer. She passed away, unfortunately. But early detection is the best key to go, because had I not got hit by the kickball, I probably wouldn't have ever known.
Okay.
So I say the earliest 30.
Okay.
And I would say, honestly, being a person who, I work in the medical field. I've been working in the medical field for 12, I've been a medical coder for 12 years. I've been a part of it ever since I graduated from college in 2009. And I can honestly say, just be aware of your body as a woman. And I think that's what will help, because the problem that we'll have as women is that, like how I had everybody thinking it's normal, the cyst like in your breast tissue, or pelvic pain, or anything that they will say it's things happen as far as your hormonal change and things like that. And a lot of times you do have to have a relationship with your clinician, your provider. You got to have a relationship. If I did not have that relationship with my provider, I don't think she would have pushed me that fast. And
That's
I'm
true.
being completely honest. And it's hard to build a relationship, and it's not just with a doctor. It could be with a nurse practitioner or a PA, because a lot of times they will be the ones that say, "Hey, something ain't normal. I've been watching her for a while," or "No, this I just think we should get a check," and they can push it for you. I just think it's just being aware of yourself. If something is not right, seek advice or help, and then that kind of will lead you in the right direction. That's my opinion on it, to get them to press the age to be 30 and older for a mammogram. But until we do that,
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. And I think that's why healthcare is so important. I know a lot of people tend to say, well, healthcare is so expensive, and a lot of people tend to not even contribute to even have healthcare because of that. But it's so important not to have it. If you don't have it and stuff like this happens and you can't afford, not to have it when things like this do happen, and you're not covered. I mean, things are so expensive already. it's expensive just to get headache medicine, migraine medication.
Mhm.
So imagine trying to get treatment for breast cancer or for any other type of diseases or sicknesses. So people need to consider healthcare and when they're taking on jobs and career fields,
Mhm.
whatever. Even the young people when they're like, I don't even want to consider doing healthcare because it takes too much out of my check. But you need to consider that, especially if you plan to have a family.
And I'm gonna be the side note on that part for anybody who under the age of 40. I'm gonna be complete. Like, I mean, we all work jobs, we all have a job, like you better come out your paycheck or something like that. There are resources out here that will provide what you need as far as if that happened in your life. I am a believer, so I know Jesus is my source. So when I say your source, that means that he's gonna supply all your needs. So a lot of times,
Amen.
I'm being completely honest. This is a story. One of my colleagues, she passed away from cancer. Probably, I want to say, I don't want to get the timeline wrong, but I remember we was at open enrollment for our benefit, and I'm sitting at the table. I know I probably was 31. I wasn't married yet. Sitting at the table, talking to her and everything. We all chit chatted, and they was like, "Oh, you should get this policy. You should get that. You should get that." And I said, I'm just getting medical, vision, dental, life insurance, basics, right? Didn't think nothing of it. Never even thought. I didn't think nothing of it until the day I was diagnosed. I didn't have a cancer policy. I didn't have an accident policy. And it was just the basics. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. So that's why when you made that comment, when you said, just think, I felt something at 34. They diagnosed me at 35. I want to say I know I had that conversation with plenty of times with my colleagues and friends a lot prior to me having that. And thank God I had health benefits, but there are resources out there that can help you. I had to get a lot of help, so I just know, but I do want to support you when you make that comment. Be aware of what's offered out there for you and
Absolutely.
take advantage of it.
Thank you. And thank you for making that note too. So ladies, know that there's resources available. Even if you don't have the mandated healthcare benefits that you need, look for the resources that's available to you, that's out there. So do your research, see what's out there and available. Most health departments are assistants, for available resources. If they're not, check with other healthcare facilities and hospitals that might be able to help as well. So, Latoya, did you want to piggyback on any of that?
Yes. I didn't have no symptoms when I first found out. I wasn't, I was worried about, if I had anything going on. It was just a little simple knot that was there, and I was like, let me go check this out. So had I not known that, I probably would have been ahead in the doctor's office before getting hit with the football, kickball, or whatever. But as far as resources, there's plenty of resources as far as early prevention, programs that are such as breast cancer awareness programs called Pink. It's an organization to help women get doctor's appointments and get examined free of charge. Like you see those links once we're finished with the cast. I see those.
Thank you. So we'll make sure we get those links, and that we'll have that available on our page for you guys if you like to. And somebody else posted on the page, NBCCEDP is a national program of the CDC that helps people with low income who do not have insurance to get access to breast cancer screening and diagnostic treatment. So thank you to the Facebook user who provided that information. So we'll make sure we provide that information and keep it available for anybody that needs that as well. So we'll continue on. So let's talk about support systems. So I know it requires a great amount of support. And I'll go back to you, Latoya, because I know, as a single mom, I know that you had to have a strong support system. 4 kids, single mom. And I know we go way back from football moms. From my boys was playing from Mighty Might, and they're, in college now. So, so I know how strong our support system was as single moms during that time, picking each other, the kids up, making sure the boys got practice and stuff like that. So how was your support system during this time with the kids?
Well, I initially found out, my best friend had to tell my kids. I couldn't have the gut to tell them. So she told my kids, my best friend, my boyfriend, my mom, the whole family. I had friends behind me the whole time, church members, everybody in the community was like, anything you need, we got you. It was hard at first to, you 38, you got breast cancer. I was wet. It was 2 weeks before my birthday, I found out that I got diagnosed. When I say the support system has been real up till now, I have my surgery coming up on 20th this month. I have a double mastectomy. So I'm kind of a little nervous, but at the same time, I'm trying to get this over with so I can be back to normal.
You're going to be just fine. And we got you. You're going to be just fine. Awesome. How about you, Nakia? What about your support system?
Yes, my support system. Me and Willie, my husband, was married going on 2 years, and when they made the, the pastor says in the vow, through sickness and health, I wasn't expecting sickness to be his beginning, but it was, for him as far as being a newlywed. So, he really supported me and cared for his kids. My mom, my dad, my cousins. I have cousins, and when I say they stood by my side and prayed with me, encouraged me, the support system was there. Even when I didn't want to talk, I didn't talk about it. I didn't tell a lot of my friends. When I didn't share with a lot of my girlfriends. I didn't even know how to communicate it. So a lot of times, my husband, he stepped in and, communicated a lot for me. So my husband he did his thing. He supported me a lot, as well as my mom, my dad, my auntie Star, Mills, my church. Once my church family found out, it was on.
Yeah.
So, and it was me. It was me a lot. I was quiet a lot for my peers, but when I did open up, they really did help me and help me to fight, especially through my chemotherapy and surgery. They really helped me. Chemotherapy was a lot in itself because I'm going in there by myself. You go in there by yourself and it's others in there in the room with you. And you need your support. And you never realize that when you're having a conversation with somebody and you get to know them, and you may not see them the next time. You don't know why. It could be they be done, they didn't ring the bell. You don't know what the situation may be, a surgery. So your mind is already playing with you. It's already saying what it wants to say. So, your support system may send you a funny video, or my cousins may make me laugh, or my husband maybe say, hey, I'm sitting in the parking lot. Or my mom say, what you want to eat? Let's go to try this new place,
Right.
one of my sessions. So it takes a village, but I'm very thankful for mine. They really did. And I pray I can do the same for them when it's time.
Well, that is so awesome. And I say that because, our support system, me supporting you today could be, my support for you might be you supporting me tomorrow. Like, we just never know, and when I tell you your support system was so strong, again, like, we had no idea. By the time I found out, I was like, what? So, I just felt so like helpless, like, whatever you need, let me know wherever you need
Mhm.
whatever. But I just felt like, your support system was strong. They held you together. They had you good, honey, because you was kept like guarded, and they had you good. So I'm like, you had a strong support system
To
because
piggyback on the
nobody
whole and
knew.
to
Yeah,
piggyback on how the sharing part, like the support system is, as an individual person who's going through something and you don't share, it's not that we don't want to. I didn't even know what to say. I'm being completely honest. I didn't know what to say. I didn't even know how to even communicate it, especially without crying first. It's like
yeah,
the crackling in your throat and not being aware. And
yeah,
the support system, it was a slogan my cousins would say, her fight is our fight. So it was basically like, hey, when you don't feel like fighting or you don't feel like talking, we got you.
right,
We'll speak for you, or that really helped. Because when I couldn't talk, they would send a message, or they'll say, hey, you okay, or how you doing, you need anything, or what's going on, or make you laugh. And that was really it. So to piggyback on what you were saying is like, when you guys did know, it was like a light again saying, hey, you're not alone.
right.
You're not alone when you fight this battle. You're not.
And that's important, because it's already enough when you're like going through this, and true enough, everybody always feels like, I know I'm not going through this alone, because there's been countless women going through this, that's gone through this before me and still going through this along with me. But a lot of times when people go through something, it always feels like you're going through it by yourself. But because you're the only one that's, dealing with the pain, the struggle, or the journey, or whatever. But I just commend you women, because nobody knows, like, the journey of the days that you guys had to literally like pull your bootstraps up and say, I gotta fight. You had to look your babies in the eyes and say, I got to do this for them. So I really want to say, thank you guys for actually, like, being on this platform today, that we can actually look in your faces, and you guys can actually say, I did this, I did this for the next woman. So, somebody on this platform might have to go back and look at this video and say, I seen Latoria's story, I seen Akia's story, and I know what they went through. So now I can go through that. And I know that I can, defeat this because they did it, so I know that I can be the next woman to tell my story, so I can go through this and defeat this as well. So I can be another survivor. I can be another, I can be another story to tell along the way, because, every battle is going to be won by one way or other, whether on this side or the other side. And I'm glad you guys won it on this side. So thank you guys for sharing your story on today. And I want to make sure if there's any other survivors on our live today in the audience. If you're in our audience and you're a survivor, if you want to come on and jump on the live right now with us, and you want to share a snippet of your journey, you are more than welcome. Just give us a quick chat in, and we'll send you the link to chime in. So if you would like to do so, make sure you do it real quick. And Jada, I'll send you the link to chime in. And if you're just a survivor and you want to be acknowledged, you can do that in the chat, and we'll shout you out. So is there anything that you guys want? I want to recap real quick. Is there anything that you guys want to review about when we're receiving checkups, anything that you guys want to give to women that they need to to do on yearly checkups, or anything that you want to kind of like throw out there that you guys didn't know that you would like women to know that you learned along the way? Something you guys kind of learned along the way that you want to kind of educate women during your process.
During my process, I learned a whole lot of things because everyone's cancer is not the same. Mine, for instance, while I was doing chemo, I was in and out the hospital the whole entire time. It was mornings where couldn't even get out of bed, and I'm still struggling every morning to get out of bed because my right side of my body is numb the whole time I'm getting up. I tell anyone to get checked early because you never know what's going on with your body. You might not have the symptoms of what's going on with your breast cancer. Like me, for instance, I didn't have no symptoms or anything. I was just, just playing keep up with my kids, and behold, it's a knot come off my breast. I'm thinking it'll go away, but early detection is the best way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome.
What I would say is, for my diagnosis, I did not have anything on my mother's side. Okay, so the history lineup of them asking you these questions, is it on your maternal side or your father's side? Like, they give you these columns. I didn't have that for my mother's side. It was more on my father's side. So that was another thing, being 35 and it's not on my maternal side. So that box was out for me. Okay. I breastfed, that box was out for me. Okay, great. I'm thinking I'm cleared from that. What I will say is what I did learn was me having an active lifestyle as far as trying to eat right, or being mindful of my social activities, or just my prayer life. I will honestly say that's what helped me for being a triple negative, and going through my chemotherapy, having a double mastectomy, having an oophorectomy to remove one of my ovaries and my fallopian tubes, for all these risks, as well as, trying to build myself back up, and neuropathy and different things like that I went through. I will honestly say that you really have to make sure you pay attention to your body, speak with your provider, and if you have a strong source, rely on that and get educated. Because my story was not on my mom's side, it was on my father's side. I didn't have that risk. Had healthy kids, healthy lifestyle. So I just want to share that any woman out there that's battling this battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. And you can fight this. You can really do it. And if anytime you're feeling low and you feel like I can't get through this, just call on his name and he will help, because that's what helped me. And I pray that anybody who hears this know that as far as after cancer, as they say, after cancer journey for me, my screenings are through my blood, and my screening is through PET scans. So that's the only way I can get checked or know for sure, okay, am I clear from it? So I will say this, that I depend on my one source, and I know that if I keep the same mindset I had before, I'm going to be fine. So this battle is not ours, y'all. We fighting this all together.
Awesome. Now, quick question. Is there a recommendation that I know that most women choose to have, like the double mastectomy, so that they can reduce the chance of ever getting it back? Is that mostly the choice by women, or is doctors recommending that, or is that given a choice by the patients?
For me,
when it comes to that,
excuse me. For me, it's both, because I have the cancer that'll possibly come back in the right breast. Mine was diagnosed in my left breast. So my doctor's like, it's a 50-50 chance if you don't get surgery, it'll come back. If you do get the surgery, it'll come back. So
I think we lost her. Hopefully she'll come back. Okay. We
can you
have
hear me, Shan?
okay. Yes.
She back.
Okay. Go ahead, Latoya. Go ahead, Latoya.
Can you hear me, Shan?
Uh-huh.
Okay, my thing is, I had a 50-50 chance. If I don't get the surgery, I'm possibility it'll come back to my right breast. If I do get the surgery, still the same possibility. So
Okay.
my thing was going over with.
Okay. So
So
it was your
it's
decision.
just my decision, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was just wondering sometimes if it was doctor recommendation or is that left up to the patients most of the time, or if doctors are recommending that.
Right. Because matter of fact, I did two recommendations to see what was the best option for me. And so
Mhm.
both of the doctors said the same thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do.
Okay. Okay. Well, ladies, we have another survivor joining us, Miss Shantae Carter. So I will let her give an opportunity to share her story, and then if you guys stay on, I will give our audience the opportunity to ask questions to you guys, and if you guys can stay on and answer any questions that our audience might have. So Shantae, give us a quick bio of yourself, and then give us a share of your story.
Well, hello, ladies. Thank you for sharing your story. I am not a breast cancer survivor, but I am an endometrial cancer survivor. And I heard someone say that usually when you're diagnosed with, these type of cancers, it's over the age of 45 plus. But I was 22 years of age when I was first diagnosed with a form of endometrial cancer. It was actually a rare type of cancer called gestational trophoblastic neoplasma. So again, 22, married for 3 years, became pregnant, but the pregnancy was a molar pregnancy, so it was a cancerous pregnancy. I had to undergo about 3.5 months of chemotherapy. 5 years later, diagnosed with endometrial cancer at the age of 29. So, with endometrial cancer, usually it's women 60 and over. So it's rare for anyone under 45 to be diagnosed with endometrial cancer. But little did I know that I had a family history. I did not know that about my paternal biological family. I was told at the age of 14 about my biological father. So the family had a history, my paternal family, of endometrial cancer and other cervical cancers. So I just what helped me again, prayer, support, but just knowing your family history. Um, it can happen at any age, so preventative care is definitely a plus. Great diet, exercise, self care, and listening to your body. I had a difficult cycles as a teenager, heavy cycles. So at the age of 13, there were signs. And so I do know that sometimes those cancer cells lie dormant and it manifests itself, through just with poor nutrition and just family history. But I was glad that both of my cancers was caught at stage 1 very early. And I've just been on a journey, and I say that we're no longer survivors, but we're thriving. That, once you've had to battle cancer, I think you put life is more meaningful. You put more things in perspective. You don't take things lightly. But it is a spiritual journey. So my relationship with God is intimate, that I know that He's a healer. I think I think a year after my second diagnosis, I became a runner. I started running marathons and just really focusing on just taking care of myself, self-care. But it's just holistic, spiritual, emotional, mental. Shan, as you know, I've been married to your cousin for 32 years. I'm a military spouse. So with that comes, you don't get a relationship with physicians because you move so much. So it's someone that knows you intimately. So just really just look for those signs and just preventative care, and just pay attention to your body. So, but I'm here
Absolutely.
today. I'm a survivor. So 20,
Absolutely.
27 years in.
Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And that's equally important because ladies, we deal with that. Our health is so important. And if we don't understand our bodies, we don't pay attention to our bodies, we don't listen to our bodies or whatever, we are going to be, look, we have to tell ourselves, because we're tending to everybody except ourselves. Sometimes we're pouring into everybody except ourselves, and we're taking care of everybody except ourselves. And by the time it's time to take care of everybody, we're depleted and we don't have nothing else to give. And then by the, we're done, and our body is worn out, and we're bringing sickness to ourselves. We're bringing health issues to ourselves. And all of that can be alleviated if we take care of ourselves like we're supposed to. We can alleviate some of the pain. We can alleviate some of the health issues that we deal with if we take care of ourselves first. So, but we're going to open it up to our audience. If you guys would like to ask these ladies any questions. They have been so awesome. We have about 15 or so minutes, about 17 minutes left. So if you guys would like to ask our ladies some questions, they have been so awesome in sharing their stories. Mothers, all of them are mothers, cancer survivors. I'm looking at our chat, trying to see what some of the people are saying. Good evening. Hi. Okay. People are checking in from Florida. Hi, Florida. Checking in. Come on, people. Send in your questions to our ladies, our cancer survivors, our guests of honor for our Breast Cancer Awareness Sunday, Pink Out Sunday for Chit Chat podcast today, where we chat all things women. Bring on your questions. Jada, do we have any questions coming in? No questions? Any comments? Chat your comments. Did you guys enjoy the guests today? Chat your comments then if you don't have any questions. You don't have any questions? Well, ladies, please send me your mailing addresses. I would like to personally send you guys a gift from our Chit Chat podcast for you guys being honorees today for today's Chit Chat podcast and sharing your story to our Breast Cancer Awareness for our October Awareness Month. So thank you again for the platform that you guys use today and sharing that. And thank you for the journey that you guys have endured. We know that breast cancer awareness and the fight against breast cancer is an ongoing uphill battle. We know that cancer is, that fight that everyone wants to see end. And we know that there's still, it's not a cure for it, but those of us who are still in the fight for, the journey and people still out there that's in the battle, we stand with you guys. We're praying and hoping that you guys will be on this platform sharing your story as survivors as well. We hope that these ladies have encouraged you. We hope that they have motivated you We hope they have inspired you with their stories, with their support system that they had. If you didn't have a support system like that, we hope that we can be the platform that can support you. Let us know that what we can do to support you in any kind of way. Any of the resources that was provided to you today on here, we'll make sure we repost it. Make sure it's available to you. If there's anything that we can do, let me know, reach out to us, and we'll make sure we get the information and the resources out to you, available to you. There's some questions. Were you all scared in your marriages when you first found out, having it affect your relationships? So that was the question.
I'm not married, but yeah, it did affect my relationship, brought us closer together. When I say this man has been on my side from day one, to doctor visits, to hospital visits, to anything I need, he has been there. It did affect us because it was like your sex drive go down. Let's be honest, sex drive go down. Don't want to do anything after chemo. You be so tired that you don't be bothered with nobody once you're done with chemo. But it did affect. We brought us closer together. I can't say that.
Okay.
Were you? I was scared. In my marriage, yes, I was scared because we was just getting into 2 years, so I was scared. I mean, it's just kind of obvious. You kind of scared. The fear that I had for my marriage was leaving him as well as our kids. That's what scared me the most. As far as did it affect our relationship, it made us stronger with the fact of someone watching you not feeling well. That's like it's a part that I didn't even want him to go through. So it brought us closer. It built our communication as well. I will say that. A lot of times, men go through things that are totally different than what women go through. And as far as, the fear, they have fears too as men. And when they are able to have a place to be able to share that, I think for me and my husband, that's when it really, for our vulnerability for one another, was able to come out more. And I was very scared as far as for our marriage because we was just getting married and our kids young, and I didn't want to leave him with our babies to raise by himself. So that was my fear for him. I can't speak what his fears were, but that was for me because I wanted to be here with him to raise our family. So,
Okay.
So it made us stronger. It did.
Okay, we got some questions now. Are there any signs other than lumps that you guys know that people need to be concerned about as far as like for breast cancer? Are there any other signs other than lumps?
Yes. You're always tired. One of the symptoms I was told, you always be tired, which I didn't pay attention to because I'm always tired regardless of the breast cancer scare. You feel fatigue all the time. Then your mood swing changes. This is what I was told, and I didn't know the things that I was changing my mood swings because people was like, "You're not yourself." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I thought I was myself all the time, but as far as mood swing, the mood swing changes also.
Okay.
I will say a sign for me that I did not pay attention to were it's a chart out there now that's saying the different sizes of your breast. I've never ever paid attention to that for. A lot of times people say, oh, as a little girl or growing up, a woman's breast, one breast is bigger than the other. Mm-hmm. That was one of the signs for me.
Okay.
I was fighting through, as Latoya would say, I was fighting through. When I felt fatigue, I was fighting through it. So I didn't realize that's what it was, being a mother of a newborn at the time. He was a newborn, but being a toddler, and as well as my daughter, I was thinking like that's just to be the mentality of a woman going through the hustle bustle of your day. Right. Okay, so that is very true. And then my vitamin D. I was just like, my vitamin D never could get right, and that was going on when they was worried about when I was dealing with pelvic pain, as far as the cyst that was on my ovaries. So they were monitoring me for that for like a year prior to this happening for my cancer. So yes, there's a lot of different things. Your vitamin D, as far as fatigue, vitamin D, your breast size lumps, radiation pain. It's a lot of things. Your armpits, discoloration. So yeah, it's a lot of things that are out there. Even when Miss Curry came on and talked about for her endometriosis, things like that. That was one of my scares for me for ovarian cancer. So I was just like, okay, once we did the surgery, because that's the only way you could find out, and they said it was benign, it was just like, okay, so what is it? And then it was breast cancer. So yes, there are other things out there for sure to pay attention to.
Okay, and we have another one. Did any of you lose any friendships during this time? That's unfortunate, but
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure during times like this, things like that get tested, but that's unfortunate. But
I lost a friend of 20 plus years because she didn't know how to come to me. Yes, she didn't know how to come to me as a friend. And was like, she stopped talking because she was afraid that I was going to be gone from here. So her reason was she didn't know how to come to me as far as a friend. But my thing was, we talk about anything else, but this is the time I really needed you.
Communication is so important.
I didn't lose any friends. I had a friend to reach out to me that we hadn't talked in years, because someone shared to her. So, and when she found out, she was upset, that, hey, I hate that we wasn't talking, and this, whenever we stopped talking for whatever reason don't matter, and at that moment, I know people say, as far as grace, but empathy was needed. A lot of times, like I said, I didn't share it to a lot of my friends. Right. A lot of them was upset with me for that. The ones that was upset was like, Kia, you should have told us, and it was me being Kia, not wanting to burden anybody else with my problems. One thing I did learn about me as growing up, I had always been one person to encourage someone else, but when it came down for me to get encouraged, I didn't know how to take it.
Yeah, that's me.
And I had to really accept it about myself, to be okay with accepting someone encouraging you, because you need encouragement just like you give it to somebody else. And that's a friendship. That's friendship. So yeah.
With me also, I gained a friend all the way in Texas who was going through the same thing I was going through. And we've been like this since day one. She just recently had her surgery, and she tell me ins and out about what's going to happen when I have my surgery. So I was like, I lost one and gained date one.
See? Yep. See how empathy works. See, it's like you share with somebody else on it. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, awesome. So, God just worked that thing out, So, ladies, again, I want to say thank you guys. I mean, I think it's, despite what you guys, went through, is such an awesome way of encouraging others and encouraging women, all together, of being champions. We already are strong individuals, by ourselves. But when we endure things like this, it's just even more of a way to show how we can conquer so much when we're together, when we come together like this. So when we can just stand together and motivate and support each other like this, and stand together like this, and be a unified body, we can do so much. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing your story. I hope that it reached somebody. I hope that somebody who actually is going through it right now heard it. I hope somebody shared it with somebody to give them support, when they're going through chemo or whatever, if they need that extra something to be motivated and supported or whatever, I hope they listen to it and get just that from it. So thank you. Please send us from the email address, the Chit Chat Pod email address, send us your mailing addresses so we can send you guys something from our podcast. And we thank you guys again. Podcast land, thank you guys for joining us. Next week is Purple Out. We will have a special guest next week for domestic violence awareness. So something equally important for us women. So please come out next Sunday, 5 o'clock for domestic violence awareness. We have a special guest and she is phenomenal. If you haven't seen her presentation on domestic violence in the Georgia area, if you're from Georgia, you will be missing out on a great presentation. So please join us next Sunday, 5 p.m. on the Chit Chat Podcast and our Purple Out for domestic violence awareness. And we will see you guys next Sunday. Y'all have a good one.
You too, Shan. Thank you.
You're welcome.